and I am back for some more Dungeons and Dragons. So yeah, guys, so today, last session, Silver and Zed and Raja were discovering the sci-fi. Silver traveled to the sci-fi realm, where Zed is helping Silver. Raja and Zed. I have some research scientists on a lab in a lab. Fairies in a lab, but now the fairies broke loose. So Silver, Ray, and Zed decided to go and investigate the spaceship where the lab where the spaceship is on the spaceship. So after a lot of investigating, they were now in a battle against some space fairies. So yeah, guys. Now we get back into it. But first, I'm gonna show you guys. So let me do a little bit of an unboxing first. Then we'll get ready for the session. Now, I got this today, guys, and it is the Displayer Beast. Yep. Oh, it's a... Oh, wait a minute, guys. It's a keychain. Cool. Oh, yeah. Alright. Now, let's get back into the game. Alright, guys, so I'm gonna have to re-roll for all of the characters, including 2 new ones that you guys see in the sec. Alright. Let me get all the dice ready. Alright, guys. Time for the roll. So first up is Silver. Oh, okay. Alright, so he got a 6. Next up is Raja. Let me get hers. Okay, she got a 15. That's good. Okay. Let's see how's that. 14. Okay. Not bad. Now for our 2 new guys. Okay. Oh, okay. Not bad. All right. Now for the fairies. Ooh. Okay. They get a 3. Alright, guys. This is the order that every character will go. Oh. Hold up, guys. I know it's a little bit not bright in here, but now let's see if you guys. Oh, it's kind of a little bit better, but that's okay. All right, here we go. As Zed, Raja, and my character Silver are fighting. Somehow, for some reason, a blast. Okay. Reason one of the fairies get hit by a blast. So let's see. How much does blasting? 9. When the fairies get blasted, suddenly two new NPCs. Then you hear Silver hears someone saying, Zed, always getting into some. Well, Zed, always needing. It's getting to a problem like this, and you still need my help. Oh. Beep. And then you see this being, this figure, stand talking to Zed, and right beside him is another figure, which is their robot companion. Now, let me do a perception check. Ooh, got that one. So that was bad. And for the fairies, guys, they rolled a 3, so that's for the initiative roll. So Silver tries his best to identify what this figure right next to this person is, but they think it's just it's unknown. But then this person coming on and saying, and then you hear the robot going, but then you hear this thing going, and then you see the person right next to them saying, don't worry. Don't worry, I'm gonna introduce ourselves. Oh, calm down, I'm gonna get to the introduction part. Anyways, allow me to introduce myself. My name is... Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Queer. And this right here is my robot companion, Iga. So, 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 what Silver's gonna do is introduce himself and, yeah. Raja, oh, gonna, and say, oh, nice to see you again, Queer. And then Queer says, ah, nice to see you too, Raja. Zed? Zed transformed back into his human-like state and go, Zed transform back to normal and say, oh, Queer, how you doing? Queer goes, you see these two talk. As Silver sees these two talking, more fairies appear. And now now four are now in a battle. And Queer looked at Zed and said, oh, don't worry, Zed. We'll talk about this later. Right now, let's deal. Alright. So up first is Raja. So she is going to take her loot out and do an attack. Wait. Ooh, she got an 11, so unfortunately she missed. So, as Raja tries her best to do a spell to attack one of the fairies, but one of the fairies dodge out of the way, so fail. Alright, next up is Zed's turn. He is transforming into his still in his werewolf-like form. He's gonna attack with one of his claws. Oof. And he too got an 11, so that miss. Zed tries his best to use his claws, but he missed. The fairies were easy to dodge out of the way. Now it's Queer's turn. Oh, hold on, guys. Let me try this again. Okay, he got a... Okay, I did like a second. So, okay, guys, I had to roll again. So he got 13. I'm afraid that... I don't know if that hits or not, but... that's okay. But he tries his... Okay, wait, hold on, guys. So Queer's gonna pull out his blaster and try to shoot one of the fairies. Well, actually, Queer's gonna use... So... Oof. Rolled a nat 1 for him. So Queer tries his best, but unfortunately his blast failed. Okay. Alright, now it's Silver's turn. Ooh. And he's gonna use his short sword. And he got a 17, so that'll hit. The sword will be either a D8 or a 6. It could be 1d8. And he got a 6, so this fairy will take 6 points of damage. As you see the three, as Silver sees Zed, Raja, and Queer having troubles attacking these fairies. Silver grabs his short sword and slashes right at that fairy. She's right at that fairy. As you see, this fairy just appeared. Here's like, clever. Now it's Iga's turn. So for Iga, he's gonna use blast from laser, a blast of his own, and ooh, he got an 8. So Iga tries his best to fire like a laser or something. Fire his laser fairies, but he missed. Now it's the fairy's turn. The first fairy is gonna attack Raja. Ooh. But it got a 2. First one has a 2. It tries its best to attack her, but it missed. Second fairy's going for Zed. Got a 10. That does not hit, as it too tries to hit him, but not by much. As for Queer, though, oof. 17, so that hits. Oh boy. Queer will take 4 points of damage. As the two fairies try to attack Zed and Raja, Queer gets hit by one of its sword, taking 4 points of damage. Alright, now we go back up the round. So that was the fairy's turn. Up next is Raja. So she's gonna pull out her lute again and tries to attack one of the fairies. Oof. But unfortunately, she has gotten a 4. So that missed. She tries her best, but she's having trouble. Next is Zed, and he'll attack with his claws. Oof. Another 4. So Zed 2 tries, but he too failed. Now it's Queer's turn. Oh, okay, hold on, guys. So Queer is gonna use his blaster to try to attack. Oh, okay, I rolled a nat 1 again, and Queer's not doing. Actually, Queer's gonna use his like a lightsaber thing, and unfortunately he missed. But Silver's turn. Ooh, okay, he got a 12.
We will be right back.
Oh.
So keep the door open and listen for the dog, okay?
Okay. Alright, back, guys.
Sophia?
Silver tries his best to fire. Actually, hold on, guys. Silver is gonna cast. Oh, hold on. Silver will do his Dragonic Cry as a bonus. So he's gonna take out his bow and go for the one that's attacking Queer. He's gonna go over to help Raja. So he's gonna cast Hunter's Mark and attack. Let me roll for the damage. Oh gosh, that one. So Silver's first arrow failed. But let's see if its second arrow can work. 7. So that's bad. So not a very good roll. Silver tries his best. He tries his best, but that thing. Now it's Ego's turn. He got a 15, so that hits. And he's gonna help clear. Let's see. This he uses laser and 4 points of damage. Hold on, guys. I need to keep going.
Jack,
Hmm?
if you hear the pups barking, let them out to go to the bathroom, okay?
Okay.
Nobody's here.
Okay.
Don't lock the door, honey.
Okay. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Hold on, guys. My bad, guys. Sometimes I get really busy. Alright. Okay, like I said before, you gotta have 15, so that'll hit. And this fairy will take 4 points of damage. As this fairy it goes down. So that Ego's turn. Now it's the fairies. First one's gonna do the same thing to Raja again, but 14. Unfortunately, that barely hits. 14. I don't think that technically hits. So it tries its best, but the fairy tries to use the sword again, but it missed. Second one also missed. So yeah, both fairies try to attack them, but they can't. Alright, going back up the line is Raja. So she's gonna pull out her. So this time I'm gonna let her pull out her dagger and see. She's gonna attack. Let me roll. 13. She tries to attack with her dagger, but she actually missed. The fairy dodged right out of the way. Now it's Zed's turn. It's gonna do the same thing with his claws, and ooh, okay, right off the bat, he got a nat 20, so that'll hit. this fairy will take 4 points of damage as Raisha tries. Fairy he said uses claws and it slashes right at that fairy. It's hurt, but Sandy. Now it's Clear's turn. And Clear also gets a nat 20, so that'll hit. So he'll use his his weapon to it. So I will roll, and he's gonna attack the one that's right by Zed. So let's see how much damage this fairy. 1. That actually hits. Clear sees Zed shrug. After seeing Zed attacking that, Clear goes for fire right at the fairy, and it goes down. Now it's Silver's turn. Seeing Raja having, he's gonna take out his bow and attack. And we roll for an attack. Oof! He tries his best. Silver tries his best, but his first arrow. So I did cast Hunter's Mark, so I'm gonna go for a second roll. 16, that'll hit. That'll hit. I think that'll be a D8. Three. So that'll be 3 points. As Silver fires second arrow and hits that fairy. It looks over to Silver, seeing it's being outmatched. Now it's Iga's turn. Eagle will blast that fairy and aim for the one that Silver hit. Oh. And it's gotten 18, so that'll hit. That'll be a 1d6. And it'll take 2 points of damage as the fairy, after seeing Silver fire his second, Iga blasts that and blasts that fairy as it goes down. So that was Iga's turn. Now it's the final fairy's turn as it goes to attack Zed. 12. Unfortunately, that doesn't hit. So fairy sees all. Man. But it still doesn't go down. So Raja, okay, use her loot to cast spell to attack. And unfortunately that failed. Zed sees Raja in trouble. So he decided to help her by and grabs his blaster and fire. Oof, not one, so he missed. He tries to go for it, but unfortunately it missed. Next up is Queer's turn. 11. And he too missed as he tries to use his blaster as well, but he missed. So now it's Silver's turn. And he did cast Hunter's Mark on it, so 18, that'll hit. That'll be a D8 and a 1D6. Okay, for my D6, I got a 6, 19, 20, 21, 22, 20. 6 plus equals, so 5 plus 6 equals 5. Wait, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, then 12, 13, and 14. So that'll hit. Seeing Silver fire his arrow right at that fairy as it goes down. With that, all 4 fairies go down. And that is as the battle now quietly goes down. Okay. As everyone now stand, after taking out all 4 of the fairy, it's now fallen silent. As all 4 fairies now defeat. Now, and well, that said, transform back to his back to normal, and says, "Oh boy, that was kind of that was one crazy battle right there." Queer comes over to Zed and says, well, don't worry, Zed. At least me and don't worry, Zed. Luckily, I came to help." Ego looks at Queer and says, Okay. Uh, don't worry, I'm gonna mention you too. Why I mean to say, yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, what I mean to say. Luckily, me and Iga came along to help out. Say to come and help out. As that is happening, I'm gonna let Silver introduce himself to him and Iga. And he'll say, hi. Uh, uh, allow me to. Hi, my name is Silver Wolfbang, and I am a member of the guild and leader of the Dragon Heroes. Ah, Greer comes up and said, nice to meet you. My, oh, nice to meet you. Oh, forgot to allow me to introduce ourselves. So he comes over and say, oh, my bad. Allow me to introduce ourselves. My name is Queer, and this is my robot companion, Iga. Nice to meet you. So, Silver will say, nice to meet you too. Oh, nice to meet you too. Anyways, what was that? Queer comes over to Zed, comes over and says, oh, wow. Anyways, oh, hey, Queer. Anyways, yeah, I'm really glad that you came to our aid. Oh, Zed. Wait. Queer looks and says, ah, Zed. Yeah. Well, at least, Zed. Always needing my help whenever you need it. Yeah, Queer. So, oh, uh, there you go. Yeah. Anyway, always needing my help. And then looks at Iga as well. Don't you mean yours and Iga's help? uh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Forgot. Anyway. Oh, yeah. I mean, Iga's help. Okay. Oh, yeah. I always forget about this. Oh, yeah. I always forget. As everybody from Ranger comes over and say, oh, thanks for helping us out, Claire. You too, Ika. Ika says, beep, boop, beep, beep. Queer says, oh, you're welcome, Razor. And, nice to see you again. Asia responds, "Nice to see you again, queer." And she looks at Iga and says, "And you too, Iga. Nice to meet you too. Nice to see you again as well. See you again." And with that, anyways, you talk to queer and Iga, and you ask about the research lab and those fairies. And Queer says, "Oh yes. Now if I remember correctly, they're called Anyways, guys, so I'm gonna roll a perception check. See if remembers the name of these fairies. The scientists were researching about. I might do Iga as well, because so I'm gonna roll for them a perception and an intelligence check. Okay, Queer got an 8. So the DC for that is either 10 or 12. So Queer failed. And unfortunately 3. So yeah, both Iga and Queer are trying their best to figuring out what the scientists call these fairies, but unfortunately they forgot to remember what the scientist has called them. So I'm gonna let Silver, Reja, and Zed to roll a perception check. I mean, an intelligence check as well. Actually, Silver, or actually, so, okay. First up, I'm gonna do Reja. Okay, she got a 3. As said, ooh, he got a 16, so he passed. And let me do my character and see. Okay. 19. And Silver did investigation check as well. So he got 19. So Reja tries her best to figuring out what these fairies are. However, Zed and Silver knows actually what. Oh wait, Zed got a 10, so Zed actually said they're 10 or 12. Zed got a 10. I would say he kind of passed. But Silver, however, Zed tries to look up. So Zed tried to look up what the scientists. But Zed, however, had to look into the database, see what they're called. But Silver, however, takes a look at the fairies and tells everybody on the ship tells Zed, Silver, tells Zed, Reja, Queer, and Iga that he knows what they are called. And so they are called gadabouts. Because he remembered those fairies from his timeline. That these fairies came from the medieval fantasy. Queer and Iga are surprised that a little kobold, or should I say a winged kobold, now seeing these fairies. Zed and oh yeah. And Zed and Raja goes over to Silver and say, "Good job, buddy. Good job, Silver." And Zed goes, "Good job, buddy. I'm very impressed. You really learn. You really know what. Really know things in your time." And with that, yeah. So since the fairies are still in the pods, all those fairies defeated. Has managed to as you hear one of the researchers says, as so you hear something on the ship, but it's not coming from the pods. It's coming from somewhere, but you don't know what it is. So I'm gonna roll an investigation check for all three of the characters. I'm gonna roll all three. I'm gonna roll investigation checks for all the characters. See what's making that sound. So let me get all the dice out. Alright, first step is Silver. Oh, actually, wait, hold on. Let's go with Raja first. She got a 5, so same thing with the DC, it's 10 or 12. And Raja kind of failed. Next up is Zed. 7, so he doesn't pass, so he failed. Next up is Silver. Oof, that one, so he failed. Now it's time for Queer and E. Oh, Queer got a 7, so he fails. Iga. Ooh, Iga got a 19, so he passed. Alright. So starting off, Silver tries to figuring out where that sound is coming from, but maybe it was just the sound of the ship, or Queer tries to figure out where it's coming from, but all he sees, but I don't think he doesn't know where it's coming from. Zed tries to figuring out where it is, but he doesn't. He's kind of confused as well. Reja tries her best, but I don't think she sees anything. But Iga, however, he scans the room and sees somebody underneath a table. As you go over and see, and you hear, "Hello? Is anyone there? Hello? Who's there?" Reja calls out, "Hello? Is anyone there?" Yeah, that's what we're saying. Hello? Anyone there? Shh. Oh, you see somebody in a lab coat saying, oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness somebody came." And Silver will ask, "Who are you? Who are you?" She comes out and says, "I am the head researcher of this lab. I've been watching your guys' battle underneath the table when you came in. Thank you for helping us." You're welcome." And she calls out the rest of the room and saying, "It's okay, everyone. It's okay, everyone. You can come out now." You see two other researchers coming out from the corner and says, "Is it over? What? Is it over?" Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Oh, I am so... The head ranger says, "Oh, thank you so much for helping us. These..." You tell them about their research about the gadabout. "Oh, yes. They're very... They are... Yes. About the gadabouts." And she says, "Oh, yes. We discovered these very... doing some research on them. And we were trying to do a research from a planet. They're not from the... They weren't from your timeline. They're actually from a different planet. Well, to tell you the truth, me and my research team decided to... we were investigating a planet, and we did find these fairies. So we started collecting samples, and when we were on our... Yeah, we were doing research on them. But unfortunately, their paws open, and somehow they escaped out of their pods and started attacking me and the other researchers. But thank goodness you came along and stopped them. I am. She heavily apologized for the fairies' attack, the Gadabout's attack, and this. I'm really. As the researcher, two men appear and say, "Is everyone all right?" Well, then it says, well, actually, as the wait, hold on. As the researcher heavily apologized, Zed comes over and says, "It's okay. I'm glad that everyone is okay." Queer says, "Yeah, I mean, I guess these weird fairies from a different planet really caused." As Queer says, "Yeah, don't worry. You don't need to apologize or anything. No, I didn't expect these fairies to cause." Ray just says, looks over and says, I can't believe these fairies who came from a different planet had would cause so much problems for you and the other researchers." And as Ray just says, she says, "Oh, it's okay. Sometimes this happens a lot." Well, then Queer says, I mean, taking samples from these fairies and keeping them in these capsules, however, I mean, that could be a genius idea to do science research on them, but I don't know. Maybe they should be better. I would say they would be better off on their planet instead of being on this research lab on this ship. Iga totally agrees and says, and Greer says, "Yeah, sure. I can't disagree with you, Iga. I will have to." After that, the head research scientist says, "Yes, I totally agree. I think we should take these fairies back to their home planet and just collect samples. Collect some samples and take these fairies back to their home planet. These Gadabouts back to their home planet so they can live peacefully." So, as saying, let's go. You, Zed, Raja, Queer, and Iga say your goodbyes and head back. Queer, Iga, and the head researcher and her colleagues says farewell to you. As you, Silver, Zed, Raja, Queer, and Iga head back to the Millennium Dragon, where you can go off on your, that way, and get ready. As this time it's about getting late, like around 7 or 8, after getting back on the Millennium Dragon, and you, we're in Egas. That was very, that's, that's it. Thanks for everything, Greer. You too, Ika. And Riz, well, nice. Thanks for everything, Greer. You're welcome, Zed. Yeah, sure. You're welcome. And he just says, and you too, Ika. As you all just talk for a moment. Zed says, well, it's getting late. We all better get some rest and get ready for another quest. Yep. After having a nice dinner on the ship, you all, Silver and the others, since, well, after having a nice dinner, you all said, well, it's starting to get late. We all better get some rest and get ready for the next adventure. So, Silver, that's, yep, as Silver and the others go to sleep, head to your cabins, as all of you, Silver and the others head, oh, said, oh, yeah, right. I forgot to get you, forgot to show you your cabin on the ship. We prepared it for you. So, and as you're taking a look around, you see that it's very like the others different. So, anyways, it's, well, my time to get some rest. We got a big day ahead of us. So, so Silver and the others into their cabin and rest for the night. And with that, that's where we'll end off the session. So, yeah, guys, I'm gonna end it off here. If you guys enjoyed this Dungeons and Dragons live stream, please leave a like, subscribe, and click on that notification bell to see more videos like this. And as always, I will see you guys next time.